Header with the ball, back to Ula. Ula at the three-point line, dishes to going up against her defender. Layup is up, and it is good.
This is the Powell I've wanted to see all year. The guy who can dominate in the SEC, come to the Pac-12 and show why he is a very good player with NBA draft prospects. Goes up for the fake, misses, passes off to one right who misses the elbow jumper, 44-30. Cougs up 14. DJ with the ball at the top of the key. Batter away. Beavers secure the ball.
Pass far out. Attempts to drive in, and Bella swats it away.
I like the aggressive defense by the Cougs. They're a very solid defensive team. They've always been good.
Senior Walker Brooks is one of the several voices you may hear on the KUGR Sports Radio. Brooks can be heard doing color or play-by-play for basketball and, of course, the occasional baseball game. However, his WSU broadcasting career had a slow start.
KUGR, I went there. I was too scared to broadcast basketball and football, so I stayed away from that. Don't know why. Called my first baseball game with Hannah Marsh, the old sports director, 2 days before COVID, I think, which is weird, because then we also had another opportunity a day later to call the Gonzaga game, but it was during a class. So I called my dad. I'm like, hey, I really want to call the Gonzaga game, but it's during Spanish. She goes, oh, you'll have plenty of games. Go to Spanish. And then COVID hit, and I didn't have a game for another year.
Eventually, Walker was prompted to a leadership role within the club after building a relationship with sports exec Aaron Monson.
My first KUGR experience actually was interacting with Aaron Monson, and I thought he hated me for like a solid year. I thought he hated me. It was really, really awkward. And now we're really good friends. But so Aaron wasn't able to choose his assistant sports director, but when that guy left, Aaron called me up. KUGR changed my life.
Being one of the few students who were able to get involved with athletics due to the club, a door opened that would put Brooks on a new path.
It was a day after the semester ended to go into summer break. It was like really, really cold. I was broadcasting a baseball game with Colby and Brad, and our hands were numb, and we stayed the entire game. And Bobby came and talked to us, goes, why'd you guys stay? Well, we wanted to show respect to the players. They're playing, we're here, we want to call the game. Bobby said that stuck with him, so when I applied, I didn't really know what an SID was, but Wendy Rainey, my ComJur 333 professor, who I've had in other classes now, said, hey, you like sports, you have a podcast, you do KUGR, why don't you apply? I applied, she wrote me a rec letter.
SID stands for Sports Information Director. Walker was selected along with a few other applicants to become student SIDs. Walker was assigned to cross country and track and field.
It showed me I started to see more sides of college athletics, how it really runs. It's run a lot by student help. I think that's kind of brushed away. Sometimes when you look at it, you go, oh, Pat Chun, Jake Dicker, but it's a lot of student assistance.
Chris Page is the SID in charge of the volleyball, cross country, and track and field teams. He works closely with Walker and is impressed by his work ethic.
He's really good about being involved with his primary sport and then also still staying involved with all the other programs here. He makes his rounds around the office to all the other SIDs to keep, content flowing through all mediums, radio, video, photography, writing. You got to have it all. So I think he's doing all the right things to set himself up with those skills. So.
In order to learn these skill sets, Walker joined the production class from Murrow News 8 to add more of an understanding of how broadcast equipment works.
I figured it couldn't hurt to know how the cameras and all that stuff worked for sporting events or just in general. I figured if I'm not in radio, I might be in TV. And I figured it would be more beneficial to kind of know how all of that works. I thought I'd be more likely to land a job if I could do the production rather than being an anchor.
When off the air and out of the office, Walker enjoys participating in a hobby that he picked up when he was younger.
In middle school, the local fencing club, which I was a part of for 15 years, came over and gave a demonstration. When you're 8, it's Star Wars, lightsabers, it's every cliche out there. I went there, did it for years. Turns out I'm awful. I didn't realize how bad I was until I got to high school. I really suck at this. But it's really fun, I love it. But I know I was god-awful.
Joining as a freshman, Walker can now put the title of president of the WSU Fencing Club on his resume below all of his other accolades. However, these roles and titles are just another checkmark on his list. His next goal? Earning a master's degree from the University of Washington.
I'm a Coug first. I will always root for the Cougs over the Huskies. I want that to be clear. But I wanted to go to a school that was also a little more academically challenging. And I took some summer courses at UW because they were actually drastically more affordable than WSU, and it was a noticeable step up. So I wanted to, if I was going to get a master's degree, I didn't want to do the traditional route where you go to some small school in Oklahoma, completely covered. And I wanted to actually, if I was going to go, I might as well go to an academic school where I could go, yeah, that was a little more difficult. I wanted to push myself in the classroom.
Walker will graduate on May 6th with 2 degrees in broadcast production and in Spanish language. Brooks is certainly ready for any and all challenges the world has to offer him. Reporting in Pullman, I'm Alexander Huddleston, Murrow, News 8.
Air ball to complete with the brick. Up over the block. Arizona wins.
That's game. That's game.
Crazy.
That's game. We're going to call it here so we can go get some stuff down the court. Aaron Monson and Walker Brooks saying so long. For KUGR, thank you so much for tuning in. We had such a great week here. We are so glad you all came to listen to us. Walker, anything else you want to say?
No, that sounds good to me, Aaron. Go Cougs.
All right, go Cougs.